Shalom. This is Priest and Officer 500 Mathumyad out of I.S.U.P.K, star of 1 West, 125th Street Hall, New York, under Command of YAHANNA. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969, teaching that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are God's chosen people, or the Israelites. We're going to keep pushing this truth forward. We got plenty of work to do. This is the Brotherhood class for Trenton, New Jersey. We about to get it on. I got a few precepts I want to pull. All right, for this time that we in right now. First precept I'm gonna grab is Baruch 4:1. I'm gonna read right quick. And shout out to everybody tuning in. The water for y'all tuning in. You got something you want to put in the chat, and go ahead and do it. But I'm gonna read this real quick. So Book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God. Now, this is talking about the Bible. Talking about the Bible, in its entirety. You understand? It's saying this is the book of the commandments of God. All right, I'm gonna read on. It says, "And the law that endureth forever." Now, this law endureth forever. Like it's contrary and to what whatever your personal preacher or your pastor or whatever church you go to may say, because what the church like to say, and the church says that the laws are gone away with. They say the laws are gone away with, and there shall, they free to do sin now because God loves them and Jesus loves them and Jesus died so they can sin. You understand? That's what they think. That's what they say. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth. I can get a precept on that too. I can get a precept on that as well. But I'm going to read on for right now. All right. It says, "All they that keep it shall come to life." All they that keep it shall come to life. So everybody, all brothers and sisters that want to, keep the law, that's doing what they're supposed to do and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, they're going to live. They're going to live. They're going to have a life. They're going to experience life. You understand? And it's a certain group of people that's not going to experience life. That's not going to receive life. You know what I mean? I'm going to read some more. It says, "But such as leave it shall die." But such as leave it shall die. Meaning this: if you don't follow what the Most High says, you die. You don't keep what the Most High tells you to keep, which is the commandments of God. You gonna die. You're gonna experience death. And death in the worst way. Not you sitting at your on your deathbed. With your kids and your family around you, your great grands around you and all that, and them comforting you on your last days here. That's, you ain't gonna experience it like that. You're gonna have death by, high blood pressure, death with you possibly getting hit by a car, getting shot or something like that, or something tragic, something tragic, because that's death. That's you getting taken out, or getting taken out untimely. What the people in the world like to say, that's you dying right there. Or you dying from getting AIDS because you like to be, a homosexual. You're a homosexual. And you go sleep with another man, and the Most High does not want man to lie with mankind, to lie with mankind. So, when you do that, you're gonna get the repercussions that come with that. That's death. That's the death that's talking about here. Slug, I'm gonna read on. Verse 2. "Turn thee, O Jacob, Who is Jacob? The lost 12 tribes of Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You know what I mean? The Native Americans in the reservations that's starving, that's being oppressed over there. The barrio, the Latino brothers and sisters over there. You know what I mean? The barrio in the ghetto with us, with the Negro. You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You know what I'm saying? We are the ones that come out of Jacob. Lost 12 tribes. You know what I'm saying? Jacob is just the progenitor of the Black, Hispanic, Native American race. And his name was changed to Israel after wrestling with the angel. All right, so he earned his name, thus being the children of Israel. All right, so it says, "Turn thee, O Jacob," meaning Negro, you can't smoke weed no more. Negro, you can't sell drugs to your people no more. You can't do any of that. You can't you know what I mean? You can't look at your brother and hate him and claim that you love God. You can't do those things, man. Say you love God, but then you turn around and you despise your very brother that you know what I mean, that you see every day, you know what I mean, but claim that you love God. The scriptures call you a liar for that. The scriptures call you a liar for that. And it says right here, I'm going to read again. It says, "Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof." You got to walk in this light because we've been walking in darkness for far too long. We've been walking in darkness for 400 plus years here in America. You know what I mean? The Negro been, subjected to all the, you know what I mean, things, traps of the oppressor that he laid for us, man. He laid all these traps and hurdles for us to go over. You know what I mean? For us to survive in this place, even if it means sinning and turning against our God to survive in this place, man. He did that to us. You know what I mean? So we turn to getting high to pacify the pain. You know what I mean, that we have to endure here in this place. We turn to stealing, you know what I mean, being robbers and, murderers. We learn all the ways and the characteristics of our oppressor. You know what I mean? Who is that? The oppressor. You know what I mean? The devil the Bible speaks of. The one that you know what I mean, rules over the earth right now. The one that rules over the earth right now. You know what I mean? They about to go to war in World War III, and they're gonna be perished. They're gonna be unalive by the masses in this World War III. They're gonna perish. They're gonna, something crazy in this next battle to come. You know what I mean? But they laid traps here for us, man. They made it so that we kill and unalive each other, and they get rich off of it. They get rich off of us getting unalived by one another. They get rich off of arresting us. They get rich arresting us. You know what I mean? So they need us for America to function. They need us to harm one another. They need us to do what we've been doing, which is setting a bad example for the young ones and the young brothers and sisters out there. Excuse me. Setting a bad example for the brothers and sisters out there. You know what I mean? The young ones that's supposed to be looking up to us as role models, supposed to be looking to us for guidance and things like that. When the only counsel they receive from from the older brothers and sisters, the able-bodied brothers and sisters in the community, is how to, sell drugs. How to sell drugs and not get caught, supposedly. You know what I mean? That's the counsel they get now. When the counsel they should be getting is, brother, don't I know you being taught this where you from, but this is the way to go. I know you being taught this by, your older brother, but leave that what your brother taught you alone and follow me and do this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of stealing from, you know what I mean, instead of stealing and doing that, you know, how about I buy you something and I'll buy you food and I'll teach you how to be righteous and do things the proper way. Instead of you going to war against your own brother, I'll teach you how to go to war against your oppressor and deal with warfare spiritually within yourself, so we can so we can build up a nation. You understand? You know what I mean? Instead of you stealing another brother's woman and stealing another brother's wife, I'll teach you, man, not to go steal that brother's wife, and I'll teach you how to get 5 more wives. You understand? I'll teach you how to do that. We don't have to be wicked in this place, man, but we've been turned to do wickedness in this place because that's just how it's been here in this place, man. We've been conformed unto this wicked world. We've been conformed unto this wicked world, and we think this place and the people here, the oppressors, you know what I mean, a white man has our best interests at heart, when in fact he wants us to perish. He wants us to, you know what I mean, be extinct. He's trying to get us wiped off the map. All right. See if I got some more. That thou mayest be illuminated, that we may shine, once we keep these commandments, man. We're going to shine as a people. We're going to shine, and we're going to shine as a nation. Other nations going to look at us like, man, we need to find out what they're doing and try to emulate that for our nation. All right. That's the precept for that. So like, I'm going to get the precept for that real quick. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 6. I'm going to read right quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them. Therefore, this is your wisdom and your understanding, which is, what is it talking about right here? It says the statutes and judgments. If you go up in the fifth verse, you go up a verse, you know what I mean? It says statutes and judgments. All right. So that's what it's talking about. If black people, Hispanic people, Native American, and Indian people, we keep these commandments. If we keep the law, statutes, and commandments of God, you know what I'm saying? It says right here, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. So if we keep these commandments, this is going to be our wisdom and our, you know what I mean, understanding with amongst these other nations. These heathen that's going to be around us, which the Lord put around us to prove us, to see if we really going to turn against him or not, if we're going to really be strong in what he said, or are we going to turn our back on him and have the heathen that he put around us destroy us because of our disobedience. You understand? He put them heathen around us so to prove us. All right, and then, I'm gonna go ahead and start again from the top. It says, "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people." They're going to look at us and be like, man, these people are wise beyond belief. We need to understand what we need to try to figure out what they got going on and try to have it so we can do this for our people, do this for our nation. And that's what's going to happen. We're going to end up ruling over all these nations when Christ returns. We're going to be over every single last nation, you know what I mean? And the saints going to rule over everybody, you know what I mean? Under Christ, under the Most High. Let's see. So with that being said, I'm going to go to the same, we in the same book, but I'm going to just go up a few chapters, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. So book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. So the Most High is saying that we are the holy people. We're a holy people unto the Most High God. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. It says we are a holy people, right? The word holy, if anybody didn't know out there, means to be separate or to be set apart. If anybody has a compact Bible dictionary, at home, you can look up the word holy, and it will say, separateness. It will say that, So it means to be separate or to be set apart. All right. Different. You understand? So read some more. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. We're supposed to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth. But right now, it doesn't look like that, right? It don't look too much like that right now, dude. Right now, it looks like we're on the bottom of everybody else. When right here it says we're supposed to be above everybody, but we're on the bottom of everybody. We're under the feet of everybody right now. We're under the feet of everybody right now. We're suffering below everybody. We the ones that are the consumers with every nation. We don't own anything, you know what I'm saying? And if we have businesses or whatever, little trinkets from the oppressor owns all the money. He controls all the money. You understand? This is hell we living in. This is hell. We living in all the impoverished neighborhoods in America. Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we're in this place suffering. We're in this place suffering right now. And which that should be a call for us to come together. It should be a call for us to come together. And Negroes online trying to complain or bring out false information from pseudo study people that study, pseudo historians talking about how blacks and Native American Indians are, and the Hispanics, that there's friction within us that means we are not the same people. Just because we have disagreements within our tribes mean we're not the same people. That's idiotic, And plus, if you have eyes and you can see and you have a brain, you should be able to understand that the oppressor hates us, and he hates the Negroes, he hates the Puerto Ricans, he hates the Dominicans, he hates the Haitians, he hates Mexicans, all tribes, Venezuelans. He hates all of us, man. He hates us all, and he gives us the same treatment. You understand? He gives us the same treatment, and he wants us all to suffer. He puts us in the same neighborhoods. He puts us in the same conditions. So anybody that understands these things should know that it would be the wise thing to do, would be to join together. The wise thing to do would be to join together with the Latino tribes, the Native American tribes, the tribes within the Negro and the West Indians, We should all be coming together and making sure we have a better life and that we got one another's backs, because in these last days, these other nations, they got each other's backs. And these last days, they looking to cover each other behind and all that, And everything that's going on today in the news and everything like that, and the wars that's going on, they're having each other's back, but we don't. Right? And in today's times, we don't. Right now, we unaliving one another over petty differences. Over petty differences, you understand? We doing these things. when we could be doing what the Most High said to do, and believe, and we better know that He knows way more than us. That His mind is all higher than ours. You know what I'm saying? He knows that He said that we should come together. Then damn it, we better do it. We better do what He said. You understand? We better do what He said for us to do. And who do you think you are to try to separate the Lord's family, the Lord's 12 tribes of Israel? You know what I mean? The Lord wants us to come together. It's going to happen. And if we don't hearken right now, you know what I mean? I fear what it would take for us to come together. Because it's going to happen. But like, if it, you know what I mean? We choose to be hard-headed now. How much of us have to how much of us have to perish? How much more of us have to get unalive before we see the fact that we have to come together? Before we have to come together and really come together in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander YAHANNA. That's what we need to come together at. You know what I mean? If we don't come together here, then you basically wasting your time. You come together in the Christian church, you're gonna have your children be molested by the pastor and by everybody up there on the pulpit. You know what I mean? You're gonna have your children in an unsafe environment. You're gonna have your children be abused in there. You're gonna have your children be abused by men like Kirk Franklin and T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar, Eddie Long, and all them cats. You're gonna have your children be in a dangerous situation. You know what I mean? You're gonna lead your children through the damn fire by bringing them in the Christian church. That's hell right there. That's hell. I'm let me see if I got some more. So yeah, above all people that are upon the face of this earth. You know what I mean? We're above and we're on the bottom right now. We must come together. That's what the Most High wants us to do. All right, because these other nations, they getting together and they doing what they think they need to do to survive this place, to survive the next up and coming World War III, aka, you know what I mean? So while they doing that, black man, we got to get together. We got to have our morals intact. We have to have our morality on a high level in this place, because if we don't, the Most High not going to be with us. The Most High not going to be with us, and we're going to need the Most High to be with us. Being what the hell, being that we know what hell awaits us in the future. The hell that awaits America in the future. Let me get some more. It's a book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. Take a sip of this real quick. So book of Romans chapter 12 verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren. All right, so I'm going to read on. By the mercies of God, that ye may that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice. So we have to make ourselves a living sacrifice. We have to make ourselves as a living sacrifice. Now, what does that mean? Christians will read this and think, they might get confused and thinking like we have to go and unalive or go. It's like go and die on the cross. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Actually go and die on the cross. No, what you have to do, we're just talking about right here, is you have to sacrifice yourself. You have to make sure that man you are, or that woman you are right now, that brother you are, or that sister you are right now has to die spiritually, meaning you change your whole life. You ate pork and you ate pork at once upon a time, but then you stopped. You ate shrimp, crab, and lobster at one point in time, but you stopped. You halted on all that. You know what I'm saying? You stopped completely on all those things, and you changed, and you know what I mean, turned into a brand new person, which means that old person you was before died. That old person you was before died and perished, and you ain't that same person no more. So I'm gonna read on. It says, holy, meaning separate, different. You know what I'm saying? Acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. You know what I mean? That's a reasonable thing. You know what I mean? You would want to um, make your body a living sacrifice. You know what I mean? Give up all the things you used to love in the world that are evil to the Most High, which is, you know, smoking weed. No matter how much we used to love doing that, you know what I'm saying? How much we used to love getting high, how much we used to love, you know what I mean, hot boxing and all that. That is, you know, evil and wicked to the Most High. You know what I mean? And that's why so many of us, you know what I mean, die in that drug game, in the drug world, where you are selling poison to your people. You know what I mean? That's how, you know, many of us get unalive in that way of life. When you know what I mean, so many of us die in that world, in that lifestyle that you live, because you disobeying the Most High. Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world. Just what I was saying. You can't be conformed to this world. When you conform to this world, man, you basically gonna be you basically like your dad, like your daddy, your oppressor, your slave master. You just like him. He's a child molester. You turn into a child molester by doing what? Going to church. You go to church. You go to church, and you become what he is. You understand? You become you know, he hates black people, and you end up hating black people because you love him so much. Your love for your oppressor and your slave master gonna cause you to hate your own people. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why we've been telling the people, black people in the Christian church, to leave the Christian church, because when you in that Christian church, you're gonna end up hating your people. You're gonna end up being the most uptight black man anyone has ever seen. You're gonna end up being like the goddamn. It's the same. It parallels with the black cops and you know what I mean. Yeah, black cops in the police force. I just seen a video. I should have saved this so I could play it for y'all. But I just seen a video where some brother just was doing the most. He had grabbed his baton, beating some brother, for no apparent like I ain't see no reason for him to beat him. But he took his baton out and he just whipping and beating this brother. You know what I mean? Uh, without cause, it seemed like to me, without cause, and he damn sure didn't have to do it like that, but he was doing it in front of his white counterpart. You know what that is? They trying to show out for these devils that's over them in the police force. You know what I mean? You can't conform to this world, because when you do that, you do more harm to your people, to your nation, than any good. You do more harm to your nation than than you can cause any good. I'm read again from the top. Verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is what I was just explaining before, right? That's what I was just explaining. says, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You know what I'm saying? Your mind has to change. Spiritual warfare. So many little so-called woke people on social media talking about woke this, woke that, being woke. So like talking about being spiritual. Sisters in the spirituality and all that garbage. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that means. They worshiping stones and rocks. That's what that means. They got rocks in their drawers at home, next to their drawers in they you know what I mean, in their drawers, in their cabinets. You know what I mean. Rocks in there. You know what I mean. Worshiping rocks, worshiping stones. That's what the Bible said we was gonna be doing. We was gonna be worshiping the dumb stone, worshiping wood and stone, and that's what we doing now. All right, but it says the renewing of your mind. So that's being spiritual. That's being spiritual. Being spiritual is to better say it, you know, rather having a spiritual warfare rather is having a war with how you change your mindset. How you change your mindset. So once upon a time, you will go and break into a brother's house and take everything he got up in there valuable to feed your family. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean, break in his house and you know what I mean, kidnap his kids and all that for ransom. But you end up coming in the UPK, end up coming up in here changing your life, studying these scriptures, understanding that Christ is a black man and that he was perfect. So that means you could be perfect and you change your life and you become a brand new person. You became the fight spiritually within yourself and be like, nah, I can't pick this gun up against my brothers no more. You know, I can't even do anything illegal anymore. I want to be righteous in this place, man. So nobody can say anything to me. I don't have to run from the cops no more. I don't got to run from police no more because I am legal. I'm legal in every way about me. You know what I mean? Every shape, form about me. You know what I mean? I got everything about me is, you know what I mean, what's the word? Not legal, but is all right. Everything about me is is not screaming criminal about me. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. That's the spiritual warfare right there. Not you worshiping some little stones next to your drawers and your, you know what I mean, next to your drawers in your cabinet and all that. I know sisters do that. Sisters be doing that. Let me see if there's any more on this. Okay. Middle of verse 2. That ye may prove what is good. Slugging. What is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. That we may know what's good, that what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. That's how you know what the Most High wants. Once you don't conform to this world, what this world what this world consists of, and what does it mean conforming to this world? You know what I mean? Conforming to this society that we live in. The society that we live in today is an evil, wicked society ruled by some bastard that's over us. Some, you know what I mean, these slave masters that's over us, man. That, you know what I mean, allows homosexuality. Why? Don't be fooled by because Trump is in office and everything now. And he said there's only two genders. The scriptures say one thing about two sodomites coming together and all that, or being a sodomite, period. America says another thing. You know what I'm saying? America says another thing. You know what I mean? The scriptures, a homosexual get you know what I mean, he'll get unalived. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump, he, you know what I mean, had, you know, America, you know what I mean, has different rules on dealing with that. You know what I mean? They don't even get arrested or anything like that. But not to say we'll do that in this time period that we in now, because we under grace. So just like anything, like, you know what I mean, we under grace right now. So if a brother is a homosexual or any sin, any type of sinner, any sin of any kind, he might have a problem smoking weed or being a murderer or whatever. You know what I mean? He has time to change. So it wouldn't be no priest running after him to, you know what I mean, try to go and unalive him, because, you know, or he wouldn't have to slaughter a ram or a bullock, you know what I mean, to sacrifice unto the Most High, because we are under grace right now. You're under grace and you got time to change. Just like sometimes you get grace period to pay a phone bill. You know what I mean? You get time to pay. You get some more time to pay that phone bill. The Most High has given us time to get right before He comes back, and, you know, requires us to be perfect. It requires us to be righteous. You understand? Just to clear that up. All right. So, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. You understand? You know what I mean? In this world, allow homosexuality, allowing hell, America breaks their own damn laws. America breaks their own goddamn laws. They allow large shipments of cocaine being you know what I mean, shipped here in the U.S. You know what I mean? A few years ago, it was a whole bunch of, I think it was in New York or Connecticut. I believe it might have been Connecticut. It got, you know what I mean, it was a whole bunch of cocaine got washed up on the shore, got washed up on the shore, you know what I mean, and goddamn, who's that for? That's for us. That's all the drugs and everything that they place in our communities. You know what I mean? We need to understand that this place is never for us. They have never had our best interests at heart. And the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. He hates us. He hates us with a perpetual hatred. You understand? And that's why we should understand that we can never come together with these devils. All right. I think it's something else I'm gonna grab. Maybe at I think this might have been it. Yeah. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. What's one precept right here I could read? Book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11. Yeah, I'm saying. All right, put on the whole armor of God, that ye. So it says, put on the whole armor of God. What's the whole armor? These laws, statutes, and commandments. Everything He told us to do. You know what I mean? That's what He's telling us right there. You know what I mean? What He told us to do. That's the armor of God. The Bible. The Bible. With everything that He gave us in this Bible and in scriptures. You know what I mean? How to live our life. That's our armor. That's our way to live here in this hellhole while we spending these last days here in America. You understand? This is how you do it. Keep it says what it say? Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You know what I mean? You'll be able to resist temptation. You'll be able to, you know what I mean, fight against this you know what I mean, the dark forces coming upon you, making you, trying to urge you to take some more hits of that weed. make you want to go hit, you know what I mean, the nearest drug paraphernalia store set up in Trenton, you know what I mean, instead of you fighting that demon to not smoke weed anymore. You know what I mean? All right, what's up with this? All right. Grab another precept. Bear with me a second. All right, it's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. You know what I mean? If you're going so you want to serve the Lord, that's a wise move. That's a wise, you know what I mean, step to make. You know what I mean? To go ahead and serve the Most High. But know this, when you're doing it, it's going to come with temptation. It's going to come with temptation, you know what I mean? Prepare yourself for temptation. The Satan is going to come at you. Satan is going to come at you and whisper in your ears, you know what I mean? It's going to sound like you talking. It's going to sound like it's you talking. And it's going to sound convincing as hell. Man, go ahead and it ain't gonna hurt, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hit the blunt one more time, man. It ain't gonna hurt. It ain't gonna hurt. Let's go around the corner to this spot over here. We're gonna get some raps. We're gonna get some, you know what I mean? We're gonna get some, some tips, you know what I mean? We're gonna help us. So I can we're gonna go ahead and do this, bust this move, and go ahead and abuse this liquor. We're gonna get turned, you know what I mean? We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna, it's gonna end up destroying you. Satan gonna end up destroying you by whispering in your ear and you falling for the temptation every single time. You know what I mean? It's gonna chip off at you, chip off at you, chip off at you until you depleted to nothing. You know what I mean? That's why, right? That's why you gotta just stay strong and what the Most High is saying. You know what I mean? You come to serve the Lord. You come to serve the Lord. It says, prepare thy soul for temptation. Verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. You gotta set your heart aright. You know what I mean? Be upright. Be morally righteous. You know what I'm saying? Have some morals about yourself. You know what I mean? A way you conduct yourself in this world. Conduct yourself in wherever in your life, however you live in your life. You understand? You know what I mean? It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Constantly endure, especially brothers in the truth. You know what I mean? To constantly endure people in the brothers and sisters in the UPK. You know what I mean? The brothers in here to not drop your sword, to not, you know what I mean, lay down what what you picked up already. You know what I mean? You gotta constantly endure and fight and fight. Let's get some more. And make not haste in time of trouble. Don't make no haste in the time of trouble. Time of trouble come around, man. Be like, all right, this is just a test. It's a test. It's a test, and I'm gonna get past it. You gotta have faith in the Most High that you're gonna get past it. You know what I mean? But this will come with serving the Most High. Things are gonna happen, and you're gonna wonder why me, why me, why me. Gotta be strong. Gotta be strong in it. You know what I mean? And know the Lord is testing you, man. The Lord is testing you to be strong, and it builds you. It builds character. At the end of the day, you understand? You know what I mean? With that, I'm gonna grab one last scripture right before I end the class. So, one last scripture before I end the class. So, Book of Ecclesiastes, verse nah, that ain't it. Zephaniah 2:1. All right, gather yourselves. So this is the book of Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Black man, Hispanic man, right now is the time. We're in a time of extreme measures. You know what I mean? To get together, to come together. The Most High wants us together. not separated, not fighting against one another, not unaliving one another, not hating one another. The Most High wants us to come together right now. Where do you come together at? Not in your Christian church, dummy. Not in your Muslim mosque. Not in your imam. No, don't go take your shahada. Don't do any of that garbage. Leave all that alone. Leave that behind you. Come in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander during YAHANNA, man. Come in the I.S.U.P.K and shed them demons out. You know what I mean? Stop smoking weed. You know what I mean? You ain't alone in that battle. You ain't alone in that fight. You got brothers and sisters here, you know what I mean, on 24/7, you know what I mean, that's up 24/7 to take your phone calls and give you counsel on whatever you need, man. But it's up to you to take the brotherhood, to receive the brotherhood, man. You got to come up in here and call the number in the description box. Call that number and ask about, is there an I.S.U.P.K nearest you? So like a near your area, you know what I mean, so you can get down with the brotherhood, get down with the school, you know what I mean, so you can receive this brotherhood, man, and you can you know what I mean, do what you need to do. Learn who you really are, learn these scriptures, change your life, you know what I mean, for the better, you know what I mean, because these other nations, man, are gonna come down on us, man. They're gonna come down on us. They hate us. It said right here, it said that we are despised as a nation. Paraphrasing. It says we're despised. These other nations don't give a damn about us, man. And we can see that on our daily lives here in America. We can see it on the news. We can see it on the news. We see it everywhere that they hate us. You know what I mean? That's why it takes us in the UPK to take care of this nation, to make sure our nation, these brothers and sisters are eating out here. That's why we hold food and clothing drives, to make sure these brothers and sisters have clothes on their back. That's why we hold these programs, man. That's why we making sure our, you know, brothers have mental stability here in this place. That's why we have counsel, what I was just talking about. 24/7 counsels, man, that we open to give brothers what they need to hear in their time of troubles, man, in their worst time of trouble. You know what I mean? So with that, brothers, man, and sisters out there, brothers and sisters, this is the I.S.U.P.K. So like I'm preaching on episode 500. You know what I mean? The I.S.U.P.K. started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander during YAHANNA. You know what I mean? Started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969. That blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the gods. It's like are God's chosen people, and that we are one people. You know what I mean? We need to come together. All right. So with that, I'm gonna see y'all next Tuesday here in the brotherhood class. And with that, shalom. All right. Y'all be safe out there. Lord be with y'all. The water for tuning in.